Hello and welcome to the Stay Afraid podcast. This podcast is with me and my co-host Reid.
Hello.
And we'll be watching the same movie but separately, and then we'll share our feelings and reviews about the movie for the very first time on the podcast together. We decided to start off the podcast with Scream, directed by Wes Craven. And yeah, let's just honestly get right into it. Reid's never seen this movie before. I have, but I typically get it mixed up with scary movies, so it was good to rewatch it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Speaking of, when I was watching the movie for the first time, I could just not think of
Anything but scary movie.
Exactly.
Yes, me too. Every time I watch it, it's after watching Scream again for the first time. After I've seen Scary Movie way more than I've seen Scream, which is sad.
Yeah, same.
But it's Scary Movie's just literally shot for shot remake of Scream, and I never really realized that. And it's crazy that after every single scene in Scream, you're like, Scary Movie did it, which is fine. It's great. It's great.
Well, that kind of leads me into my first bullet point here. The whole "it'll be cut you like a fish" scene. That whole most of that scene, I was just thinking of Scary Movie with the popcorn bag.
Yes.
Constantly.
That's what. So here I say, we got Casey cooking popcorn, and then she picks up the phone, of course, and then the killer's being creepy, and I love the killer's voice.
Mm-hmm.
His voice is so good, and I don't remember who does it, unfortunately, but I know I did hear that he wasn't allowed on set, and they wouldn't let him like be near or meet the cast, so it was a little creepier. The guy who did the voice.
I did not know that.
Which I thought was pretty cool. And then let's see. This part was pretty funny. Casey calls a movie a video, like a videotape. And I don't know if that's like a 90s thing.
It's totally a 90s thing. It caught me off guard at first, but then my brain immediately was like, oh yeah, this movie was made in the 90s and not
yeah,
the
I was like, video. It's not a video.
Yeah. And
then we also got Casey wanting to smash the killer, even though she has a boyfriend. She's straight up just like, hey, I don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah. Speaking of...
Because his voice, which is fair.
Speaking of the boyfriend, his name is Steve. My next bullet point is Steve got cucked of life, which...
Well, let's go back a little bit. It's like...
I know.
We missed a little bit. I mean...
Yeah.
Casey is home alone, answers her ringing phone. We got that. And then she says that the guy dialed the wrong number, which is like, come on, don't lie.
Yeah.
Soon after, he calls again, making flirtatious comments. See, she wants him. And then, obviously, Casey doesn't know he's a killer, so that's why she's flirting. But goes to reveal that the boyfriend is tied up in the back patio. Yeah, let's talk about that. I don't know. Should we spoil who the killer?
Absolutely. This movie came out a lot.
That's true.
Years ago,
and we're gonna be talking about it later, anyways. How did Stu or Billy tie him up? Because he was pretty big.
Oh yeah, and okay.
He's a big guy.
Another scene when he dies. It shows. By the way, another point. Nasty gore in this movie.
It's like good.
When there's gore, I love it. But when he dies, she turns off the light and then you just hear a slit. Then she turns on the light immediately. How is Billy or Stu that fast to
there's a lot of things that are like, hey, how was that? How does that happen? But let's go. Yeah, another thing I got here is like, why does she keep answering the phone? Like, just stop answering.
Yeah.
It's good. It's pretty clear that he's gonna like be the one that's calling you. Another thing I got here is this part was funny when the killer like says she's blonde and then she's just like freaks out. Like, why does he choose that thing? It's like, you're blonde, and then she's like, what?
I kind of liked it, that's a good point.
When he's like, I want to know who I'm looking at, and she's like, well, that's kind of weird.
Oh,
but when he says that she's blonde, that's the point where she's freaking out.
That's like a half of the population in America.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really like the part where he's like, I want to know who I'm looking at, and then he plays it off as like, I want to know who I'm talking to. What
else we got here? Drew Barrymore is amazing. I love her, and I'm glad that they kill her off in the beginning of the movie. I think that was amazing.
It lures them into the movie like that.
Because she's on the cover. I mean, we got her right there on the cover of the of the movie. I mean, and then we can also talk about the cast of the movie right now. I mean, we've got David Arquette as Dewey. He's good.
Stop
He's
thinking
awesome.
of Doofy.
Doofy, yeah. I do that too. I really like David Arquette though. I think he's awesome in this movie. Same with every single person. Like Nev Campbell is really great.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox, of course.
This kind of like leads me to the Stu's whole character and the third bullet point.
Wait, we're not even there yet. Bro.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say.
Probably.
The line where she's like, "My boyfriend is big and he plays football." And then again,
he's gonna come and kick your.
Yeah.
But
again, which he should have. I agree that maybe they caught him off guard or something.
They're like two people.
And that's true. There is two of them.
Stu is like.
But no,
tall.
no, there's not, because later in the movie, Stu says that he was with Tatum. His
you're right.
girlfriend. So I think it was just Billy. Billy didn't have an alibi.
I don't think Billy just kidnapped the boyfriend by himself. Maybe earlier Stu did it.
Maybe you're right.
But then he did the whole thing by himself.
All right, and then we got Rip Steve.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah. Steve died. Steve deserved better than. I mean, Drew Barrymore's great, but like she was gonna cheat on you with the killer. Yeah. So poor Steve. Or Steve could have sucked. We don't know.
Yeah.
He could have sucked.
From his eyes of desperation to live, he looked like a nice guy.
Yes, I agree. One thing I wanted to bring up is how would you do in the quiz? Would you have? Would you have said Jason?
Bro.
Would you have said Jason?
I would have said Pamela.
I don't know.
Or I would have asked which one.
I don't, because
well,
I probably
panicked.
When you're panicking like that, I probably would have said Jason.
Yeah, that's also true.
Casey's face when she realizes that she was wrong and that it actually was Pam, she was like, "Oh, bro, I knew that too. I really did know that." Yeah. And then I wrote Rip Steve actually because that's when he actually died, and I knew that. I don't remember this part, but I do remember when she's like hiding behind the TV and she like picks up like a pencil. And I'm like,
picked up like a tiny little knife.
And maybe it was a knife. I didn't see, or maybe it was like sewing needles or something. But
I don't think
it looked like she picked up a pencil as a weapon. And I was like,
again,
what are you gonna do with that?
Panicking, trying to grab the clearest weapon. And later she grabs a huge knife.
Yeah, I do remember that. Here's another thing: is where did they find the Ghostface costume? Was that a thing before the movie?
Yeah, it's like in that universe, it's like a Spirit Halloween type costume.
Yeah, but like, was it in real life? Like, how did they pick out? I mean, like, in the movie, like, not the movie. I mean, like in real life, was like, who? I wonder who picked that out, because that perfect costume, perfect for the movie.
Oh yeah, that smart people.
After that, Casey sees her parents driving on the road, and
they didn't notice her.
Not only that, but she just kind of sees them and just continues to hide behind the house. And at that point, once I see my parents driving, or anyone driving for that matter, I'm booking it. Because
that's
this
what
guy,
it was in Scary Movie. The girl booked it.
And then she got hit. But
yeah.
Why? Maybe she thought the killer had a gun? I don't know.
But
I feel
like
he
killed her already.
Yeah, so I feel like I would have just booked it to that.
Yeah,
like,
and also,
I stay at the house.
I understand, but like at the parents and Seer, because she was right there, but like her voice was like damaged.
That's what.
But peripheral vision, they would still see her.
Just wait. The killer gets kicked in the nuts by Casey, and I said that's the first smart thing that she did, and that's just factual. I mean,
yeah,
she very dumb, very very dumb character that you got there. And then you got. This is what I was gonna say. Why did she not throw the phone at her parents when the parents were walking inside? Because she couldn't say anything because of her voice. But why wasn't she just like, hey, or like anything, or like I feel like she could have done a few things to get her parents' attention. Yeah. Whether it was running to the.
I mean, she could have been panicking, but.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess
that would.
You're right. I don't know how I would act if I was getting murdered.
Yeah, but still, you would still try to throw the phone if you were panicking. You would do anything.
Or maybe she didn't have the strength. Or I mean, it's a movie. Like we know that. We know that if she did that, there would not be a movie. So we're just picking at it. We're just having fun with it. I said the scene where her parents find her body is so sad. It's like the movie went from like pretty like funny. I'm not gonna lie, the beginning scene's quite humorous, and and like cool and like just like wow, this is a cool scene to like wow, I'm depressed because her parents just had to find
Again, like
their
with
daughter's
that,
dead body.
I'm not gonna deny that was like. I
Oh
don't know if
yeah,
it
the
was
scene where they
practical
zoom in on the
effects.
tree.
That was
That's sick.
that sent like chills on my spine, kind of like. I don't know, man.
And then after that, that's the end of the scene, and then we go to Sydney's house, our main character, Nev Campbell. And what's the first thing that happens? Like, she screams because, or no, does she talk to her dad first?
She talks to her dad. No, she screams.
No, because,
she screams, and then it's just like, why are you screaming?
yeah, and then I wrote down that I hate his voice.
I don't remember.
He was just, I don't know, I just found him annoying, but whatever, that's fine. And then, the next thing is, when, his name's Billy, yes.
Yeah.
When he says, like, the exorcist made him think of her, I was like,
she's gonna spin her head
that's
around?
kind of weird. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he gives his reason, but, like, you think that's gonna make your girlfriend, like...
attracted to you more?
Yeah, like, want to do the things that you want to do. Whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
And this is where I wrote Scary Movie really is scene for scene in this movie, but it's hilarious. And I think knowing that makes it even better because you can just compare it to the Scary Movie while you're watching this.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start making out, I guess, and then Billy's like, give me more. Like, why are you not want to do this?
Yeah.
And then she's like, nah, bro, like, calm down. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. And then, Billy is, trying to rush her, and, he's saying that he's not. I remember I wrote that down, because he's like, I'm not trying to rush you or anything.
But
I was
show
only
me
half
some
serious. And but I was like, bro, shut up. Like, you, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then Sid shows some boob I wrote down.
I remember that exactly from Scary Movie,
Yeah.
where it's just some dude, middle-aged man.
So this is actually just a review of Scream and Scary Movie, I guess. Well, we should do Scary Movie at some point. That would be funny.
But no, we've seen it too much, though.
That's fine. I don't care. We'll do it at some point. But, yeah, Sid decides to give him a little something, I guess, which I disagree with. Like, Sid, stand your ground.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing that. Which, it's fine. She makes her own decisions. Next. What's next? We're at the school, and there's the police everywhere. And this is when we meet Courtney Cox, who is Gail Weathers is her name.
Yeah, there we go.
And the next thing I wrote down was, is this supposed to be a high school?
It is. It's supposed to be a high
Which
school.
is, I mean, I knew that as I
Later
kept
on,
watching.
I say teens, but when I say teens, when I wrote it down, it felt wrong.
And then, yeah, after this, I wrote down, the kids look 30, but when they're in the classroom, the classroom looks like it's for first graders. Did you see the classroom?
No.
Like, if you look around, you're like, are they filming in a elementary school right now? But, like, I don't know. What else did I put, Sid asks if they knew who did it.
Oh.
Like, yeah, I don't remember, does she ask her friends if they know who did it? Yeah, right when they're walking into the school. And I just put, bro, if they knew who did it, why would the police be everywhere? Like, obviously they don't know who did it, Sid. Why are you asking that question? That's a stupid question to be asking.
That was kind of like, I don't know, man.
Whatever. And then, did you have anything else?
Oh, yeah.
I just got a lot.
One thing. Shaggy.
Yes.
I know. That's all.
Yes,
but
Shaggy.
I cannot ignore...
We'll get there in a second.
Yeah, just dude.
It's actually coming up next.
Okay.
This is when I said the principal is super creepy when he grabbed Sid's chin.
I thought there was like a side plot with his like sexual like pedophilia or something.
Because he's creepy.
Yeah, I was like, oh nope, I guess that's just.
And then again,
thing.
I was kind of like, is that like a '90s thing? Is that like just the normal '90s thing? I don't know, but he did just full on grab her chin, and I was like, bro, that's a little creepy.
Yeah.
And then this is when we meet the friends is next, and the friend group, and I just love the cast. The cast for this movie is so incredibly good.
That you can tell they like really took their time with this.
And I heard this as well, is that Matthew Lillard, guy who plays Stu, Shaggy, he had auditioned for Billy's role.
Really?
And then they're like, hey, no, we have another guy. But yeah, and then this is when I wrote Stu is top tier. He's a top tier character.
That's also what I was
when
saying.
He said "leave her alone."
Oh my, yeah, that
to leave her alone. I was like, bro, stop.
That's what with my Shaggy point. I'm like, I'm not saying that he plays Shaggy. I'm saying this is his whole.
He is Shaggy in this movie.
Like, he's so funny. I love his character. He's just so funny. And even in the final scene with him and Billy when they're like dying or something, and the reveal is like my parents are gonna be so mad.
Yeah, yeah,
so funny.
I could not stop laughing. That's why this movie is so great.
Yeah.
And this is when we go back to Sydney's house after school, and she's with Tatum on the porch, and I was like, what does Sydney's dad do? Like, what is his job?
In Scary Movie, he sells drugs.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in Scream, he's freaking rich.
He flies somewhere. Like, that's what he says he's doing.
But then I also have to remember, this takes place in California, correct?
It does? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that this movie takes place in California.
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention.
Let's look it up.
To that.
Sorry for the loud keyboard, everyone. Alright, Scream takes place, I think it's in California.
I didn't really think about
it. Yes,
yeah,
Woodsboro,
right.
California.
Yeah, but still, that must cost a lot, though.
Yeah. So I mean, they live in California, so I'm sure it's like an expensive place to live. So, I mean, he's rich. Everyone in this movie is pretty much rich, I'd say.
Doesn't she have the stairs that go spin around or something?
I don't remember. Probably. She probably has some nice stairs.
Yeah.
To be honest. And then I wrote down poor Sydney. It's actually sad. Maybe I was talking about her mom.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah.
Because when they're talking about her mom, that's so sad.
That's messed up.
And yeah, I mean, we learn more about that later. But I mean, if you don't know already, Sydney's mom was murdered and raped, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy is in jail for it. Who they think did it?
I want to say Cotton's in this.
It was like Cottonwood or
Cotton.
It was something like that.
Something.
Either way.
But it was actually the person who did it. It was Billy.
Yes.
Because he was jealous because her mom had an affair with his dad, and that's why his dad left or they got separated.
Yeah, and then we learned that later in the movie at the end.
At the end.
And then this is where I say if murders were going on in my city, if 2 of my classmates just died, I'm out. Like if I'm home alone, my parents are gone, whatever.
I'm
not staying at my house by myself.
Oh yeah, I would not allow that. I would tell them you have to stay here now.
Or I would go to I would leave the city. Mm-hmm. I would not be in the city. That's just stupid.
Yeah, I would stay with friends.
I mean, maybe the killer follows you in Sydney's case here, but still, in reality,
she has a friend who her brother is law enforcement, so you just want to stay with them the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, and then
that's what she does.
This
later.
is when the killer calls Sydney at her house, I believe. Oh wait, no, Tatum wasn't there, or was she?
Yeah, she was.
This is two separate scenes.
No, he said I was with Tatum the night of the murder. Of that.
No, I'm talking about something else.
Oh, and also before you go on, I remember I said with the 2 kids murdered. Kids are just teens casually joking about 2 kids murdered in the bathroom or something. I'm like,
no, that's later. Yeah, that's later because I talk about that as well. We'll talk about that. Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We got Sid. She calls the killer sexy, thinking it's Randy, and I was like, "Go, Randy."
Yeah.
Good for you, Randy. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know, but I mean,
still
later on we know that Randy was into Sydney, and Sydney had at least a little bit into Randy, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless it was just a complete joke, but whatever.
Maybe.
And then I said this movie might be the reason I don't answer my phone unless I know the number. I think that, and because I don't like talking on the phone in general, but also because I don't I don't know who it is. Maybe it's a killer. Could be. This is the only jump scare that got me. Jump scares don't get me very often.
What was the jump scare?
When Ghostface jumps out of the closet.
I don't
at
remember
Sydney's
that.
house. I don't totally remember. I believe it's after she goes outside. She's like, "You ain't here, you idiot," and then she goes back inside, locks the door,
I remember
and then
that.
Ghostface jumps out of the closet. And for some reason, like I knew it was gonna happen,
But
but
it still got
it
you.
got me for some reason, and I don't understand that, but whatever.
I don't remember the exact scene, but I remember like something like that happening. Like
Yeah,
I knew she was just like picking her nose. Like,
it's because like she says she goes, "I'm not like I don't like horror movies because it's just big-breasted women
Mhm.
who should just run out of the house, but instead they just stay in the house and get murdered." And then she doesn't run out the house and then almost gets murdered.
Yeah, I like that because I think that was intentional.
Well, yeah, obviously it was
Yeah.
intentional. It's just
I don't think it was a character flaw. I think it was like saying I started to understand when your mind is like pacing like that. You're not gonna stand there and say, where should I go?
yeah,
The front
yeah.
door. You want to go somewhere that's the safest to you. When you're out in the open, I feel she doesn't know. The killer might have a chance to come tackle her or kill her.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what happened to Drew Barrymore.
That's true. I mean,
And like, I would run to. If you imagine someone in the house and they're chasing after you and they come from the basement, which is like right next to our front door, I would run upstairs. I would go to my room or something. I was like, oh no.
I don't know.
If I go upstairs, that's the farthest distance.
If I'm already in the house and the killer's in the house, but she could have just ran.
Around her house,
But she doesn't know that it's a real killer. Whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
she
lived
knows
because
nothing about
she calls 911 on her computer, which I don't think is a real thing.
I'm
Nowadays
pretty sure,
it is. I don't know.
I think it was a real thing back then.
I don't. Maybe.
I just don't think it was like a popular.
I'm curious to know if that's like if you could do that. And then this is when Billy comes in through the window, drops the cell phone, which
Okay,
you probably didn't think about this because
that's literally
we're
something.
younger.
That's literally something I have. I understand it's like, in the fence, it's like all younger people have cell phones, but like he might just have a phone. What happened? He just dropped the phone, and that makes me mad.
But here it is. Back then in '94,
Dude, I thought
not
it was
everyone-
96.
or 90s. I don't freaking know. When was this movie released? 94, 96. It was 96, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 96. My bad.
But still, 2 years.
People did not everyone had cell phones. Not even close to everyone.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, oh man, that's a little sus, Billy. Why you got a cell phone? And that's when she freaks out, runs downstairs, and then Dewey has the mask to the door. She
Okay.
screams, and then he screams.
Why would he do that? That's one more question. It's like
That's
wait,
that's
It's
a
like-
good point.
I'm gonna scare her.
Yeah, why did he do that? You're right. I never thought about that, but that's true. He did just spook her for no reason.
When I saw the scene, I just could not stop thinking of a scary movie where it was like, oh,
Yes.
like where Doofy got scared. Also, oh crap, I remember in Scare again. Sorry for mentioning Scary Movie, but Scary Movie, it was like when he dropped the phone, he was like, oh Sid, I'm so sorry. Then he dropped the glove and knife, and then he dropped the mask.
Yeah. He dropped the mask. That's kind of like that's basically what it equals that.
Yeah.
No, like honestly,
Like in
having a
this,
cell phone is like straight. Be like, okay, you did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, she wasn't wrong.
that's
Like
true.
he did call her.
The phone did have like clean records, but like they transferred it.
That's another
copied
thing.
it.
I don't understand how
I-
the copying a cell phone works, but
That
I'm
must
sure
have been
it's a
back.
thing.
That must have been back then.
Because like no one does that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, maybe someone does. And then I wrote Dewey's great. David Arquette.
Yeah, Dewey is amazing.
He's a good actor in this movie. And then
Oh.
the next thing did you want to say
Oh
something?
yeah, something. I had this thing. I was like, when I was all in the beginning, kind of was like, I was not bored in the beginning, but this can just go throughout the whole movie. I was not bored throughout the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
It kept me entertained at every part. I didn't lose focus really at any part. It shocked me. I just haven't seen like a good slasher like this in a long while. But yeah, that's what
I agree. This movie's great, obviously,
Mhm.
and that's why we're covering it as episode number 1 for the podcast. Hopefully, we can do some more. The next thing I wrote down was Gale Swallows, because Scary Movie, of course. I hate to keep bringing up Scary Movie, but I don't remember what happened, but I think Gale was just on the screen again, and I was like, Gale Swallows.
Oh yeah, I when at the school later on, I didn't know, I haven't seen the movie before, but I thought like when he was like walking towards the school and Gale was following him, like something they had like a little bit of chemistry. And I'm like, is Gale gonna do something to him to like help him like leak something like in Scary Movie?
And then she does.
She does.
kinda later on.
I don't think not like
Not like
then.
straight up. No, not then. But I do have to say something about that because that's a little later on, I guess. But this is when. What happens here? I said Kenny is great, the cameraman for Gale.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
him.
Yeah, he's a chill dude.
And then this is when they're in the police station and the sheriff, is it the sheriff or deputy? I don't. No, it's sheriff. It's a sheriff. Is talking to Billy and Billy's dad. And I wrote, the police, they're just roasting Billy's dad. They're like, just shut up. Like, quit talking, dude. Like, we don't need you. And then he roasts Billy as well. And he's like, Billy, you murdered Casey Becker. And then this is I think this might be, I don't remember when this is, but I said Billy's creepy. I don't know why he's not in prison.
He's
like
creepy.
Already, like before any of this.
They have that.
Billy's creepy.
Oh yeah. Before this.
Which Skeet Ulrich, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. That's who plays Billy. He's awesome. He did a great job.
Oh yeah,
Skeet did a great
making
job.
it unsettling.
Oh yeah, he was very good in this movie. And then this is when I wrote, Gale is zooming, trying to get into the police station. She was like running in there, trying her best to get into the police station.
Yeah.
This is another thing. This is a huge point I have here. Biggest point of the entire podcast. Why would they let the suspect and the victim be so close?
Oh, that I didn't think about that.
Why would they just let the guy who tried to murder
possibly
this girl just talk to each other when
the same high school?
This is when Billy is being moved to like a holding cell or something, and then he's yelling at Sydney as Sydney's just sitting there, and I'm like, I in my head I was like, why is this allowed?
Oh no, I was talking about in the school.
No, but that's why after they let him out, which is fair. I'm talking about while they're in the station. Why are they allowed to be so close?
Yeah, that does.
Wouldn't you think this would trigger something for Sydney and be like, yo, like, this guy just tried to kill me. I don't want to see him. I mean, maybe that's just because, like, they're, like, it's a police station. There's not that much room. But at the same time, I'm like, why are you, that should be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about another thing, like, in the school, why should, he's still a possible suspect. The sheriff is still onto him. Why is he even allowed to be remotely near? Like, they talk right next to each other.
Are you talking about at the school after?
At the school after.
I talk about that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got let out. He was found to be not
still
not
seems so
whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And then this is when we're leaving the police station, and the police officers are just making fun of David Arquette, Dewey. And I'm like, hey,
stop!
Don't make fun of a police officer for having a sister. I mean, the sister was making fun of him, and they're like, shut up.
Also, something I noticed about Billy in the poster: why does he have a little stash and like goatee?
Yeah, Billy looks a little different in the poster. He
looks like a greaser.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, that looked like somebody else to me.
I also wish that Scream was, because it's supposed to be called Scary Movie.
Yeah.
I wish they called it Scary Movie.
Nah, I feel like that would be too on the nose.
I mean, that's fair. Scream is good, but because I think Scary Movie was originally called like Scream If You Know What I Did Last Summer.
On Friday the 13th.
Something like that. Yeah.
Man,
that would have been funny.
Thank God they went the Scary Movie.
Anyway, we'll go on to the next intense scene of them sneaking out of the police station. It was like some intense music. I remember that. It was like a real like.
Who snuck out of the police station?
When they're sneaking out, so like the press doesn't.
Oh,
like,
that.
They're not like hoarding them and stuff. And then when Gail was like, "Hey, how's the book?" Or no.
Oh.
No. Sydney's like, "How's the book, Gail?" She's like, "It's good. I'll send you a copy." And then she just gets punched.
Oh yeah, and also I just.
Do you love how
Scary Movie? It's just like Sydney, your A is flat.
Yeah. No, and then I don't understand, like, I thought it was hilarious that Dewey just doesn't care that this girl just got punched in the face, like assaulted. Like that's a crime. Which I mean, I agree. I think Sydney should have punched her. I think that was a great thing to do. But the police officer just doesn't care. No one cares. And then he gave her ice once they get back to to the house, and that comes up later again in a different scene, which I hopefully will bring up if I remember. I think I wrote it down.
I don't think I remember.
At the party, there's a funny scene where
Were
Dewey he's a bad police officer. In all
yeah,
honesty,
Dewey kind of sucks.
which good. I mean, I'm glad. That's why I like him so much.
Yeah.
He's a bad police officer. I want to bring this up as well. Is like, why does Tatum have 2 beds in her bedroom? We're totally like not like making fun of this movie.
This is amazing.
I think we both love Scream.
This is a huge refresher for me in the slasher genre.
Yeah, because he's never seen it, which is ridiculous. But no, we both love Scream. We're just picking at it, having fun.
Yeah.
But 2 beds. Yeah, 2 beds.
I didn't think about
that. And then Tatum wants to just gossip about the murders. Just like, Casey died. Let's talk about it.
Goodness.
And I was like, bro, if 2 of my classmates just got murdered and the murderer's still out there,
that's also
I do not want to talk about it.
Exactly. That's what I had. Teens, casually joking about 2 people are murdered. I don't know how like people like older people, but people aren't that heartless.
No.
That is horrible.
But I mean,
later,
maybe I don't know, because high school, I could see a few kids doing that in high school.
Just a few, but it feels like Stu is joking about it.
Well, yeah, but he's he.
I know, but multiple other people.
I agree.
It looks like a majority.
But whatever. It's fine. They're chilling. They're just having a good time. And then the killer calls. This part makes me actually so mad. The killer calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at Tatum's house. And the mom's just like, "Hey Sid, the phone's for you." Sid's like, "Oh, is it my dad?" And she's like, "I don't know. I didn't ask." Why would you not ask? Why would you not be like, this girl just almost got murdered. Let's just give her the phone to some random stranger.
To be fair, we don't really know anything about this mom. She could be like laid back. She could. Just
no, you
not
ask.
Care.
You don't just be like, "Hey Sid, the phone's for you." I didn't ask who it was.
That is kind of.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, whatever. That made me. I was like, bro. Sid's not taking messages right now. She's not taking calls. She almost got murdered.
Oh yeah, about that scene. I was just thinking, even though I know scary movie and I know how that plays out with like you got the wrong guy, but that still was a great reveal. I still like that a lot.
I think that was great as well. That's what I'm about to. When they're like, "Get Dewey, right? Get Dewey right now," and Dewey whips out his gun in his underwear.
I was gonna. Yeah.
Why does Dewey have a gun?
And also, I just remember the thing from Scary. It was like,
I'm cleaning my room.
Earlier, she's just like, "You suck your teeth with a vacuum cleaner," and then later is like,
he
it comes out
with a vacuum cleaner.
He's like, "I'm cleaning my room."
I think the vacuum cleaner is better than the gun.
Oh yeah.
Why are you bringing out a gun to the phone? Maybe he didn't know.
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, there's a killer in the house.
Yeah, maybe he thought that
he's gonna
didn't
shoot
put his pants
phone.
on. Another thing, he just goes, "Hello."
Oh, I was just about to say something like that.
Why is he just like, "Hello"?
I think that was intentional. That was just so
I hope
funny.
so.
Yeah.
I hope it. And then it fades to black. He says hello, and then it fades to black. That's fine.
Yeah, this hard transitions are hard.
And then we're back to the school. The next scene, and the reporters. This is what I said. These reporters suck balls, bro. Leave the 17-year-old girl alone. She was almost murdered.
But I feel like
it wasn't even Gail. It was a different reporter.
There are a lot of reporters.
Who was like, everyone wants to know. You have to answer. No, she doesn't.
No, she.
Let her be.
Yeah, like
she's not even 18.
I feel like
maybe she is.
People in real life are that horrible as reporters.
Yeah,
that they will do
I'm not saying that's not accurate. I'm just saying like these
something in the
suck.
movie that.
And then my next bullet point is pretty great. I said, it's a quote from Sydney, and she goes, "I'm sorry I mangled your face." Because that's when she like goes up to apologize to Gail. And then this is when they start arguing about
the Cotton Weary. That was his name.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was his name.
Gail does not think that he did it, which her evidence for that is not good.
Yeah, but it's
because like when she was listing out all the things, I was like,
those don't match.
Those don't, like, it doesn't really make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it makes sense, but it's also a reach. Like, you're just reaching. Okay. But, I mean, obviously, she was correct, so, I mean, I'm wrong. But it also was like, okay.
I should have said this earlier, but early on in the movie, it's when I was, like, meaning to write it. It was, like, it explains stuff, like, subtly about, like, the murders, but it explains it well at the same time.
Yeah.
I like that. That's all.
And then this is when we get the kids running around with the ghost face costumes on.
Yeah, that's.
They're just acting like the killer that murdered their classmates, and it's like we already talked about this, so we don't need to go over it too much. But what the heck, dude?
People are heartless.
Like, why would? And then later on they get expelled, which we'll talk about.
I kind of love the principal in this, except the creepy
Except
chin
for
grab.
the chin grab.
But
I agree.
I love it. Like he almost like cuts him with scissors. Like you're expelled.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
That
about that
is
because
great.
I have a few things to say about that. And then the next thing I say is Billy's horny. Like still, he just got out of jail for.
He still wants to smash.
He just got out of jail. He just wants to smash. He's horny. He's like, and then later on in that same conversation, he's like, "Hey, I get it. It's been a year since your mom's death. Like, can you just get over it?"
Yeah, you do
And it's
not
like,
say
bro,
that to someone. You
Like,
absolutely
it's been
do
a
not.
year. 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. People are most like gonna be sad when it's the anniversary of your loved one's death. That's
Especially that too. And then he compares her mom's death to his parents getting a divorce, which is like not the same thing at all. By the way.
Sorry, Sid, it was a bad
And
analogy.
then it makes it even worse that he murdered her mom, and he's saying all this like, "Get over it. I murdered her mom,
I love how they make him.
and then have sex with me." That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I love how they make him like despicable. You wanna hate him.
Oh yeah, for sure. But at the same time, like, he's cool. This is where we get to the part where expel the kids with a costume, and then I said, "GG kids, you're gone," and then he threatens them, and threatens them to what? Oh, he threatens them to, and I said, "What a guy!
Yeah.
What a guy for
But
threatening
also,
them." But and then
I don't
said,
know the time period, but you would probably get in trouble
yeah.
for that.
And then I said, "But he's still a perv." So
Yeah.
either way, yeah. Why are you threatening? Why are you threatening kids?
Yeah,
Why were those scissors so loud? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
How loud the sound effects for this? It was like ching 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 ching. I was like, bro.
It was like a stock sound effect.
It
like,
was.
I swear to God.
Those were loud scissors,
Like
bro.
if you look up scissors stock sound effect, you will find like
Yes. And then the next thing I write down is, why are you making these kids go to school? And then like 2 minutes later, they're like, we have a curfew, school's out. And I was like, good, don't make them. And then this part was weird. This is when Gail and Dewey are talking, and then Gail goes, "You don't look a day over 12."
Yeah,
No
that
one wants
was
to hear that.
super creepy.
No one
that
wants to
creeped
hear
me
that.
out.
No guy is like, "Hey, you just want to tell me that I look like 11 years old."
Yeah, like isn't that kind of like an insult?
Yeah, I would
Like I would
think. I don't.
You look like you're 5.
I thought that was so weird, dude. I was like, Gail, why would you say that to him?
That creeped me out so
Mhm.
much.
And then like it worked, I guess. I don't know what David Arquette is thinking, but
Yeah.
And then party at Stu's house.
Nice, bro.
That's when they announced that. And then I was like, I love Stu. Stu's funny. He's
Yeah.
so funny. This is another scene where the principal. I don't know how to feel about the principal. He puts the mask on.
That was funny to me,
Is there
but
like
also
a-
uncomfortable at the same time.
Because I
What
felt
is
like
he?
the whole movie, I was like, there's got to be more to the principal in
I
this
want
movie, correct?
I want a whole spin-off where the principal does not die. He lives. He beats up Ghostface, and just quits the job and goes on to live his life. I want to see his story.
Yeah,
Or
because
even a prequel to this movie about the principal.
because I'm just concerned for like the students,
Oh yeah, that's
because this man he's threatening students. He grabs Sid's chin. He puts on the ghost face mask, and then he gets scared of his own reflection later. And then
yeah, he gets scared of his reflection. Wait, before you say that, I forgot to mention this. Sydney takes nothing. Like she beats the crap out of Ghostface in the bathroom later. Like no, she slides under. He rams into the sink. And
that's later. We're talking about it
I know,
later.
but like earlier, like
She's
in
awesome.
the house, she takes no crap.
No, Sydney's awesome.
Yeah, that's a.
We love Sydney here. This is when Wes Craven's cameo.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yes, Wes
Yeah.
Craven. I'd always get them mixed up. With Freddy's sweater, that was pretty cool.
He calls him
I've seen
Fred.
that a million times. Fred, yeah. And then that's when the principal gets scared of himself in the mirror. I was like, wow, dude, really? You're a loser.
I think this.
And then he gets. And then
I'm
he
not
gets
trying to
stabbed.
be mean, but I think this dude has like some sort of mental illness.
I think he's like Yeah, I think he's like there's something going on.
I'm being legit. I want a prequel on this.
I
dude.
think that would be cool,
Like
a
a series?
TV show or something.
Yeah.
And then I put Rip Pervy Principal, and I cannot get over how awesome the Ghostface costume is.
Oh yeah. That's
Never will be able to. And this is then that scene's over. Whatever, we don't care about that. We go back to Sydney's house, I think. Maybe this is the porch scene I was thinking of. I don't remember.
No, that was the first.
That was earlier?
That was the first attack by Ghostface.
Or were they on the phone? I think they were on the phone.
No.
So they weren't on the porch. This is the porch.
No, she went on the porch. She's like, why are you calling me? It's like, that's when she's like, she still thought it was Randy. And it's like,
I'm talking about when Sydney and Tatum are on the porch.
Oh, that scene.
Is that this scene right here when... Yes, this is the scene. I specifically remember. I messed up earlier. I apologize. Who talks about their mother's death so much?
Oh.
And maybe it's because it's the anniversary, but I feel like they've talked about it a lot in this movie. But whatever. And then
some people are different.
Tatum says something like, we're on some Wes Carpenter flick, mixing John Carpenter from Halloween is most known for, and then Wes Craven.
Oh, earlier when like in the first scene with Drew Barrymore, she says, this little movie called Halloween. I'm like, that is not a little movie.
Yeah, she's like the one where the killer kills the babysitters.
The one with the creepy mask and the butcher knife. That is not a small movie, and I bet it wasn't then.
No, it wasn't. It was a joke.
Yeah, that's.
And then this is when we meet Randy. I freaking love Randy.
Wait, I thought we met Randy when they're all like by the fountain.
That's or we probably did.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe we didn't meet him.
I love Randy though.
We didn't meet Randy just now, but
still.
This is when I'm like, all right, we got some Randy. Randy really thinks Billy did it, which is smart, but still kind of weird. Still kind of like
everybody's the suspect.
He's straight up just thinks one of his friends is a murderer, and it's kind of like, is this the?
I don't think he was really a friend of him. They were all kind of mean to him.
That's the thing I didn't say at the fountain when they're at the fountain, because we passed that, correct?
Mhm.
Why are they straight up just like
so mean
calling
to
each other like murderers and stuff? I mean, that's fine. That's okay. I mean, it's true.
I've seen friendships where it's like a little more aggressive and they like call each other like names, but this just seems like they hate each other.
I agree. This is when we find out Randy likes Sid, and earlier this is when I find out earlier Sid was saying the killer who she thought was Randy's voice was sexy, so I said maybe we found a cute couple, Randy and Sid.
I have
I don't. Does that happen maybe in Scream 2 or something? I don't know.
Bet not. I bet not.
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I just haven't seen it. I have 3 things to say. I totally forgot to say. This movie is. We've already passed this basically, but this movie is just funny. It's really.
This movie's hilarious.
Then some music is kind of weird. It's like a bunch of people like oh. It's like that doesn't fit the tone.
The music is a little weird.
It doesn't fit the tone of the movie, and it just weirded me out.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghostface, it really shows. Ghostface is just a normal guy. I love he's not just. I love.
Yeah, because he gets beat up in this movie.
It's like he's. It's like it shows that it's just 2 high school kids lumbering around. But okay, another thing. How is Stu Ghostface? He is super tall.
Yeah.
I don't think we see a tall Ghostface ever.
There's a video on the internet. I don't know who made it, but it's like they go through who killed who. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
But I think that would be a good watch because I mean, obviously, like who cares? I mean, it's a movie.
Yeah. But like
it would give it away as well. Be like, okay, it's Stu. We know it's you.
Yeah.
You idiot. You're tall. You can't be tall. Not allowed.
There's only one more other like 6'5" kid in the school, and we know it's not him. He's an Amish.
This is when one more thing.
I was gonna tell Neeling about like the Ghostface being a normal dude. This is like what I kind of have an issue with, like in games like Dead by Daylight, where they have him, because like in that game he's like a supernatural entity or something, or he's like really good at killing. Ghostface in none of the movies. I mean they're good at killing, but they lumber around like they can barely see in their whole costume. But like I don't know, man. They should.
Yeah, I agree. It's fine.
Yeah.
Randy goes off to the movie store where he works, which is awesome. I wish I could work at a movie rental store, but they don't exist. I would love to work at one.
But yep, they're all
But yeah,
overseas.
they're gone.
I love that whole scene. Everybody's a suspect, and Billy just appears right behind him. He says,
That scene's really cool.
You're telling me that guy's not a killer?
I think that's a little later on.
No,
Maybe
that's-
not.
that's
No,
the
it's
movie.
not. That's right now. Yeah.
That's the scene.
I started taking less notes. I got tired.
That's fine.
It's okay. Dewey got ice cream in the next scene. Dewey got ice cream. He's making out with the ice cream.
I remember that.
This is when we find out that Sydney's dad is the prime suspect at the moment because he never checked into the hotel. Oh yeah, we never mentioned that.
And they found
We never mentioned that. Sydney's dad's out of town.
Oh yeah.
We're about 45 minutes too late on that. That's fine. Everyone knows. It's fine.
Yeah. Later on.
He's a prime suspect.
First of all, I can't believe sometimes they think it's him, but you could totally see, like, I could totally picture him in like this costume, just with, like, a belly sticking out.
It's pretty clear, but they haven't seen him.
And also, I think it's like his phone is traced from something.
Yeah, because
like,
they copied his phone. And that's another thing. Dewey even says that he was like, "Is it possible that his phone was copied?" And the sheriff just did not. He just ignores it.
It's like, shut up! I don't want to go
No,
through.
he doesn't even like acknowledge that he said that. And I was like, okay, I mean that's fine.
No.
And then I wrote down, I cannot take this scene seriously with Dewey eating ice cream. I just can't. He's like going at this ice cream, and then I put, come on, sheriff, quit smoking. I'm like,
Stop.
Just stop. You don't need to smoke. You're fine.
You have a great body. You don't want.
He's just stressed, and that's what it showed. Is that he's stressed from
He's very stressed.
this situation.
I like,
and then
I like that's how like a character thing he has.
And then
It fleshes it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the end of that scene. Yeah, I mean Sydney's dad's the prime suspect at the moment. They're trying to find him. They said that they were gonna put borders up or something, and then they were gonna go door to door if they had to.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then basically that just kind of like. That's exactly what Stu and Billy's plan was that he was gonna be the murderer. And then. Next scene, Stu's house is freaking awesome. Again, who are the parents? Who are the freaking parents?
Yeah. Where are his parents?
Parents don't exist in this movie.
But like out of town.
Like straight up, parents don't exist except for Sydney's dad for like a few scenes, but
and
legit.
also that other girl's mom, Dewey's mom. And dad's not there. Maybe dead. Maybe out of town. Who knows?
we don't.
Every single parent is out of town. Maybe the principal's a parent. We don't know, but it doesn't really matter, huh?
And then this is where I literally write down: is this just like how California is? Is everyone just rich in California? I don't know. Never been.
Yeah, that's.
But this is when they're talking about movies, and Rainey's like, "Okay, are we watching Hellraiser or Evil Dead?"
Evil Dead is much more of a party watcher. Hellraiser is.
I would say Evil Dead is probably better for parties.
Exactly.
I would prefer to watch Hellraiser.
You really have to focus while watching Hellraiser. If you like stop paying attention for like a full minute, you're lost. Like.
I agree. I just prefer Hellraiser, but yes. Evil Dead for the party.
I've never watched
Good question,
Evil Dead.
though. Good question.
But I would love to watch
Evil Dead's good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. And then they're like talking crap about Jamie Lee Curtis later.
You know,
and I'm like, bro,
stop disrespecting.
Do not disrespect
the
Jamie
horror,
Lee Curtis.
like one of the most major horror icons.
And like,
ever.
it's like a joke, obviously. I know that. I didn't realize how many movies she was in because they list them, and I'm like, wow, it's a lot of horror movies.
I know. I now know that she shows boob between 1982 and 1986.
Yes, they do say that. They do say that. That's funny.
Yeah.
This is the scene I was talking about with Dewey being a bad cop. He's messing with the kids. He's like takes his beer and he's like, "Hey, you're underage," and then he's like, "No, I'm just kidding." He's like, "I don't care. Here, take your beer." You're like 17. I don't care,
bro. Dewey's
so funny. And he's like, just don't drive.
If you put them side by side,
they do drive.
Dewey in the first movie and Officer Doofy in Scary Movie, if you put them right next to each other, sometimes it's a little hard to see the difference.
Oh yeah,
like
they're very similar. Yeah. I mean Dewey's hilarious. I love Dewey.
Yeah.
He's just messing with the kids. This is when Tatum goes out to the garage, and what the frick, dude?
Okay, I have a question.
This is the first thing I wrote, which made me messed up on my part. You can just see her nipples.
I noticed that too. I was like,
that's the first thing. She walks into the garage and I'm like, bro, your nipples are just.
I noticed that too. I'm like, are you wearing a bra?
Like maybe it's cold. I don't know.
I know, but like.
I agree though. Yes, and then.
I was also saying, I don't know. This is just a question. What's the door locked in the garage?
I don't know. I believe he locks it after he comes in. But
she didn't even try to open it.
I just want to. This is what I wrote down. Tatum has nipples in case you couldn't see through her shirt like everyone else. She does have nipples, believe it or not. Which is not important to the movie. I just thought that was they made it seem like it was important because of how
and the shots that they're doing with like you could like close the face.
Which is weird because in this movie there's no like
there's no
every slasher movie has boobs in it. This one does not.
Wow, you would really think Scream.
I don't think there's nudity in this movie.
There is not nudity in Scream.
And I mean,
like they cover up all.
But
the
at the
stuff.
same time, is there nudity in not Halloween? Nightmare? No, there's definitely nudity
there's
in Nightmare.
So nudity in Nightmare. Like which in the first one? Or are you talking about the whole series?
The first one.
Oh, then.
Because Wes Craven made it. So I don't know. Maybe Wes Craven had a change of heart. Didn't need the boobs in this movie, which he really didn't. This movie proves you don't need boobs
in any scary movie.
You don't. You don't need boobs, guys. Directors, writers, producers. You guys don't need boobs in your movies.
Stop making boobs.
If you make a good movie, you don't need
that's
boobs.
all you need. You don't need.
Like, yeah, that's enough. We're good.
Next thing.
The garage door, is it broken or is Ghostface doing this?
It's broken.
Why is it broken?
Wait, so like it lifts up and it was like.
But then it works later. That's when I said.
It doesn't.
I said, why is the garage door broken? And I said, oh, never mind. It's the killer doing it. Because later, she brings it up and it starts to go up all the way. And then she looks behind her because it starts to go down. And Ghostface is standing there. So, like, is it broken or is he just trolling?
Oh, no, it's...
Because it is Stu's house, so he could have, like, an
broken.
opener.
Well,
Did they have openers back then?
I don't know.
Like, portable ones?
But, no, it wasn't broken when Ghostface was using it. But when she got in it, the weight made it break.
I understand that. I meant before. Because it was, like, acting weird before.
It was not broken. Wait, maybe. I don't know.
And then she says, is this I Spit on Your Garage? That was pretty funny. Because I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's a horror movie. Never seen the original.
I've never seen it.
I wouldn't recommend watching that anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then she goes, are we playing Psycho Killer? Psycho Killer?
I cannot think of scary movie when she said that.
And then she said something like, I want to make it to the sequel. She doesn't make it to the sequel, guys. Tatum dies.
Mm-hmm. Almost everybody
also,
dies.
She'd fit through that garage door.
Oh, absolutely.
The little door.
If her top half made it through, the rest couldn't make it through.
And that's like straight up. Like she would have made it through. And I think I read somewhere that she literally kept sliding through, and they had to staple her like clothes to the door.
Oh my god.
So like.
They should have done it where it was like too late.
Like in Scary Movie, they have a really big girl go through, and that's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah,
we're not fat shaming.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like that movie came out in like 2000.
It came out pretty quick
after this. Not too quick, but I mean
like that's usually stuff like that in today does not happen in 4 years.
No, I mean, and that wouldn't happen today either.
Yeah, that
spoofs aren't really. They don't do well, and not that Scary Movie did well, but it did better than any spoofs that are made these days.
Yeah, spoofs aren't really.
They're not a thing anymore, which is unfortunate.
Man.
Also, Tatum was effing up Stu. I'm just gonna say it was Stu. Was it Stu?
Who was?
No, it wasn't Stu. The killer wasn't Stu. It was Billy. Had to be Billy.
Killer was also Stu.
No, I'm saying in this scene.
That had to be Billy. He could not.
Because Stu was inside. Anyway, Tatum was messing him up.
What do you mean?
Like fighting. Like she was fighting him.
Oh yeah. I love how
before she gets in the garage door. I should say.
I love how people just beat up the Ghostface. But you know how I'm not saying like, but most characters like Sydney and like they're more weak. But unless the Gale part where Sydney punches, but like they're not strongest. But somehow how Drew Barrymore's big, strong boyfriend can get captured by both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not just thinking about how that's kind of stupid.
Where Tatum and Sydney can mess up Stu and Billy, but this big football player cannot do anything. Maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell you why that's like that, but whatever. Good job, Tatum. Until you try and go through the garage door. Not very smart. Not a very smart move. I don't know what she should have done. To be honest, I don't have another option for her.
Yeah.
Fight back. Continue to fight back.
Steal his knife, stab him, or just hit him with more stuff in the ground. Okay, There might have been a lot of more stuff in the garage that you can use to kill someone with.
I don't know it. I mean,
Take a break.
Going through the garage door was not. But I say it's not smart, but at the same time,
You're panicking.
she would have fit through.
Yeah, and also you're
In
panicking
real life.
again.
She is panicking. And then she dies, guys. She gets I don't know how.
She gets crushed. Oh, that was a nasty. Oh, that was awesome
I don't
practical.
remember.
I remember her head got smushed. Between,
Yeah.
It didn't. There was no blood, but it was
Yep, you're
really
right.
cool practical.
You're right. Yes. She dies, guys. Tatum's dead.
So
And her
sad.
nipples.
No.
Then we go to Sid wants to bang.
Sid now wants to bang.
Sid now wants to
Billy-
have the sex.
Billy's not just the only person.
And I was like,
she says
why?
It in a way. She says it in a way. It's like we can make a pretty
She wanted
good
to be-
porno.
She like wanted to make like a surprise. Like, hey, you know what? Let's bang. And I was like, okay. But this is like when Stu sets this up. Stu's like, go upstairs to my parents' room. You guys can talk or do something else. And then Boo was like, way to be subtle. And it's
No.
like, okay.
Not funny.
Anyway, yeah, it wasn't great.
But
And I said,
no.
why do you want to bang him? He's creepy. And I mean, he's got good looks, but he's creepy. He's weird.
I would not want to talk to somebody like that. Oh, and also like they're talking about like Billy's like talking about how their life is a movie. He's like, our life is not a movie. But then later she's like, we can make a pretty good porno.
She says like, why can't I forget the actress's name. She says because they're talking about it earlier.
Maybe
Dewey
Campbell.
no, like a different. She was like, why can't I be this actress? And then she's like, at least I can have a pretty good porno. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Sydney, you weirdo. And then I said, now they're both horny. And then I said, and now they're gonna do the sex.
Yep.
They're gonna have sex. And then they did have sex.
Mhm.
And I mean,
good for her, I guess.
Not really.
It's
Not really good for her.
She kind of got betrayed.
And then and we go back downstairs. And did we mention? Gil Weathers is here, by the way. She's at this party.
She got to the
This
party.
is at the party. I don't know if we said that. Gil
Yeah,
Weathers
no.
is there. She put a video camera in the living room, but it's a 30-second delay that becomes important. This is when they're having a watch party downstairs for Halloween, which is awesome.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And here it is. Randy says the rules of a horror movie. The horror movie rules are:
if you're like a virgin, you always live.
You can be a virgin. Don't have sex. Don't do drugs or drink.
Mhm.
And never say, "I'll be right back."
Oh,
And
yeah.
then this part's hilarious.
Stu goes.
Stu's like, "Do you want a beer?"
Like, yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like,
I'll
"I'll be
be right
back." And I loved that. And then they're all like, "Oh!"
Oh, and also,
that part's hilarious.
oh, we know about the principal. They say,
This is what I
like
was
he's
gonna
hung
say.
from a pole and like dead, and they're like, let's go pick
go
it
look
off.
at it before they take it off.
Let's go pick it off.
Yeah, they said they
I'm
want to
like-
go look at the principal's dead body before they take it off the goalpost.
Okay, that's still what people.
Again,
That's
these
what?
teenagers are not normal teenagers.
They are like everyone in this town are like homicidal. I mean, is Ghostface the real criminal here?
He's just bringing out the criminal in everyone. And then Randy's now alone, and that's sad.
Yeah.
Randy almost dies like
Multiple.
multiple times in this movie.
But he doesn't.
So did Sid really think that it was a good idea to have sex with him? Why was she just now like, let's have sex?
I don't know, man. She was she was turned on
And then-
by him being
right-
like polite and like a changed
But
person.
then right after they have sex, is it like she's like, "Are you sure you're not the killer?"
He's like, gets so close. It's like,
But
gets close to her face. Are you still doubting me?
that's really what happens. And it's like, why would you have sex with this guy? If any part of you thinks that he could have killed someone, including your mother.
Oh yeah, that. Woo. That.
Because she knows in her head, she at least a tiny bit. She's like, Billy might have killed my mom.
I would not even want to get close to that.
But then she
I
bangs.
I would. Yeah.
And maybe it's like her trying to be like, okay, he didn't do it, so I'm just gonna do this, and then I'll definitely think he didn't do it. And then anyway, Billy gets stabbed, but like he doesn't actually get stabbed.
Cornstarch. I
It's
think.
like, yeah,
They used that in like Total Drama Island.
yeah. And then Billy falls in the most dramatic, fake way.
Oh, down the stairs.
No, I'm talking about like onto the bed. He's like, Sydney.
And he
Shut
lands
up,
on the
girl.
bed so he doesn't have to hit the hard
And then
floor.
now it's Sid's turn to get murdered, but in reality, nope. I wrote. She smashes Ghostface's face with the door, and that made me laugh, like out loud laugh.
That was
hilarious.
That was totally Stu. That Ghostface wasn't really that tall either.
You gotta get over that, dude.
I know, it's still.
We gotta get over all this stuff, and then I put, of course, Stu's parents own a boat for her to fall on because they're rich.
Okay.
They own a boat.
That would not be a soft surface.
No, that really wouldn't. But
she would break her
depends
back on like a seat.
Because you would go through the tarp is there, but it's not like a trampoline.
I don't think you would go.
You wouldn't go through. I'm saying, but like you would hit the boat.
You would hit the bottom, or you would hit your seat.
She fell pretty far.
Yeah, you would hit your back.
I mean,
you would be dead or be seriously injured.
Yeah, it was stupid. And then she sees Tatum's dead body. And that's sad. She was like, "No, Tatum's dead. My friend, who for some reason's dating this guy who sucks. She doesn't even like Stu. Tatum. Tatum does not. I mean, she does, but like, not really. She didn't seem to like him. She just seemed like a teenager who
wanted someone.
To date the popular guy. Anyway, Randy's drunk and he's watching Halloween. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was so funny.
And then he's saying, "Look behind you,"
and
then Ghostface is behind him, and then
there's something.
Kenny, who was watching. Oh yeah,
there's
a few things
something.
I have to say here.
Me too.
Kenny's watching because Gail is out looking with Dewey for a car, who's Sydney's dad's car.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, he's about to murder some people. That's what they think. Yeah. That's what the police think. And then, so Kenny's watching this on the delay, and he's like, "Kid, look behind you." And then Sydney runs out to the van, and it's like, oh crap. And then Kenny's like, get in the van. And then Kenny gets murdered.
Oh, yeah, that was really sad.
Kenny gets murdered, and it's sad. And then Andy. Did I mean Kenny? Or Randy. I said Rip Randy. To be honest, we loved Randy. But Randy's not dead. I just for some reason thought Randy was dead because it's been a minute since I've seen this.
Oh yeah, but that whole scene with Randy, it's like, look behind you. That was so funny.
That was the funny.
But how he turned away from that man, I really wish they came up with something better for that. But
I wonder how he lived. How Randy lived.
He got shot.
No, I'm saying I wonder how he lived in that specific part.
Oh yeah, that just.
Anyway,
I mean,
I said Rip Kenny, or whatever his name is. I couldn't remember apparently.
Ken Dog.
That was a good scare. That was a good jump scare where Kenny gets his throat slashed.
I already knew it was gonna happen because.
That reminds me of another thing earlier when they're on the fountain and they're like. Sydney's like, "How do you gut someone?" Which is a stupid question.
Oh yeah, do not
That's
say that.
That's a stupid question. And then Stu's like.
First you cut them from the top.
Like Stu just explains it. I'm like, okay, bro, that's not suspicious. Yeah. You don't sound like a killer right now. Of course you sound. He's
trying to play it off as like, I'm so dark and scary as a friend. But no, it's more like, oh, you're kind of creepy.
And then they're in the van. Sid's in the van running from Ghostface, and she crawls out the back of this van.
Why?
In a little hole. I don't understand that. And then Ghostface follows her instead of getting out of the van.
Oh yeah, that kind of.
And that's when I wrote, Ghostface is dumb. Like Stu and Billy are dumb.
Stu and Billy, and I feel like Billy is smarter. But Stu is just an idiot. No, I think that was Stu chasing her.
I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, Ghostface is dumb. Or no, I already said that. Ghostface is dumb, we know that. And then I wrote, Rain is alive, W. That's a dub.
Mm-hmm.
Rain is alive. Mm-hmm. And then Gail apologizes to Kenny's dead body after she gets in the van and starts driving. Kenny's body falls, right?
Yeah, she swerves the car and it lands Kenny's body.
She's like, sorry, Kenny.
That was so funny.
And then I said, uh-oh, Dewey, because Dewey gets stabbed.
Yep, in the back.
We think Dewey's dead. Dewey's dead. That's what they want you to believe. He's not dead, guys. Don't worry.
He is in the fourth one, so yes, he is alive.
Fifth one.
Huh?
The newest one's the fifth one.
I'm saying he is in the fourth one.
I haven't watched the fourth one. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I know he's in the fourth one.
How does Ghostface not kill her while... Oh, yeah, this is when Sid's in the police car. And, like, she's in the front seat, and, Ghostface is in the back seat, and he grabs her. I'm like how do you not kill her?
Yeah,
because he didn't want to yet.
But I like that.
Is that what it is?
He
wants to capture her, maybe.
maybe, but she's maybe I don't know. But that I really I like that.
It's an easy kill right there.
I like that whole scene with the trunk opening, and he's like, okay, first of all, how would she die here? That's cars are loud.
Anyway, yeah, this is dumb.
Usually you're going like, beep.
It's fine. And then I write again, of course. Randy's alive. Yay. Randy's alive again. He's not dead yet.
W.
This is when Randy and Stu are like, hey, it's him. No, it's him.
Yeah.
And then Sydney says F you both and shuts the door on him.
Yeah, I like
Which,
that.
Fair enough, but come on, it's Randy. It can't be Randy.
Yeah, how would Randy have the physical...
But they make a good
power.
point, because Randy is like the horror movie guy.
Yeah, that's
who you're going to expect.
That's
He
what
even
Billy
says that
said.
earlier. Yeah, he says that earlier.
He could have snapped.
Billy is alive, shocked. I'm shocked. Shocked face is what I wrote down. Billy's alive. He didn't actually get stabbed.
It was
Or he did
cornstarch.
get stabbed. This is when we still think he gets stabbed. He falls down the stairs, which is hilarious.
That was so funny.
I laughed so hard when he fell down the stairs. And then he says, Randy says, Stu's mad because they let him in the house. Because Billy, Randy, and Sid are all in the house. And Randy's like, hey, Stu's gone mad. And then Billy's like, we all go a little mad sometimes. And then shoots Randy because Billy got a gun.
Yep.
And Randy flies. Randy just freaking he flies.
He just slams.
And I believe
against the floor.
I think he said it's a quote from Psycho. I don't
Oh,
remember.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, I think it's
Because
a quote
I'm like,
from Psycho.
we all go a little mad sometimes. That's cool.
And I just want to say I love Psycho, if that's the case.
Never seen
You
it.
gotta watch Psycho. We'll do that on the podcast at some point.
Maybe
Maybe.
later.
Also, the killer's Billy. We can discuss that now. I said in the writing, but we already discussed that.
Yeah, we already talked.
And yeah, it's
we
Stu
said that.
as well. Big shock.
Wow.
And we say Billy killed Sid's mom and raped her,
Yikes.
and then had sex with Sid and wants to kill Sid.
Yep.
We should have seen this coming. Like, everyone in the universe should have seen this coming. Billy's weird. Billy's a weird guy.
Billy is really sketchy. And like that okay. That just whole situation is just too
Messed
much.
up. It's because this movie's funny,
this
and then
movie
you bring that factor in, you're like, we don't need that factor. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad, and that's the thing I said earlier with Casey's parents finding her. Like, this movie can get super depressing.
Yeah. I also like how like I didn't know this, but like a plot with Sid the whole time. It's like an actual movie where she's like, my mom is perfect. She died for no reason. But her mom was actually
Yes, that's also
like
her mom
a bad person.
but
She cheated on.
she didn't deserve to die.
Yeah.
And this is when Stu's like, "It's a scream, baby." I
I
love
wrote
that.
something that I see. Billy / Stu chemistry scene at end. That whole
That's
scene
what I'm about to talk
is
about.
so good.
I said this scene is so good with Billy talking to Sid, like
It's-
explaining the plan. That scene is so good.
Uh-huh.
That's so perfect. And you know, I also heard that when Billy threw the phone at Stu, it was an accident. It wasn't
Really?
supposed to happen.
What did he say? Like,
He was like, "You threw the phone at me, you yeah, you bad word." And then there's Sid's dad in the closet tied up. They bring him out and they're like telling him the plan. The plan was that they were gonna stab each other. They were gonna be the only survivors, and then they were gonna make Sid's dad kill himself. So it was a murder suicide.
But then Billy went too far. Like, he's like,
Billy
I'm
did it on
feeling a-
purpose, by the way.
Huh?
Billy did it on purpose because he
Oh.
wanted to be the only survivor.
Yeah, he's like, I'm feeling a little woozy here, man.
Yep, that's a great line. And I
Yeah.
said, I still love Stu, obviously, even though he's the killer and stuff. I cannot help but love that man.
I know.
He's hilarious. In this final act, Stu's hilarious. He's like, my mom's gonna be so mad.
That whole scene's so good, man.
He's like, did you really call the cops, Sid? She's like, yeah. You bet I did. And he's like, my parents are gonna be so mad. And then stabbing each other was actually kind of scary. It was like, that's a little frightening.
Just like, don't stab right here, because that
They're
will
just
kill me.
full on stabbing each other.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that.
That is,
I
like,
couldn't stab someone and
psychotic.
get stabbed. And then this is when I write, this movie is so freaking good.
Yeah.
I freaking love this movie. Then they must have said something about a sequel because they said gotta have a sequel, I don't know. I don't remember what I was talking about. And then this is when Sid starts blaming horror movies, and I'm like, Sid, don't do that. That's like a boomer thing to say.
Stu?
No, Sid.
Like, what?
They both do. They're like blaming movies. And I was like, dude, don't blame movies. And then this is when Stu says, I feel a little woozier. And that scene, or that quote is very, I say that all the time. Not all the time, but I say it more than I should.
It's too good.
That line is top tier, I say. And then, this is when Gail comes back after she was like,
Yeah.
they tried to kill her, but she didn't die. I don't remember the scene where she gets,
the van, she gets off-road, and it's going like, where? And it flips in the air,
So they
and
thought,
she gets knocked unconscious.
Stu and Billy thought Gail was dead. She forgets, she has the gun now.
They left the gun on the
out.
counter, and when Billy went to
Somehow
go
Billy
get it,
gets
he's
it.
like, oh no. He's
Stu's
like, what?
Stu's like, I don't know where the gun is, man. And then Gail gets it and is like, you're dead. And then forgets to take the safety off.
And then she gets
Billy takes
punched
the gun. But it also helped Sydney escape, so it was fine.
I'm just waiting for that part to come up because
And
I
then-
really want to talk about how that part is really stupid. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if I do. But this is when Stu says he thinks he's dying.
Oh.
And it's so funny. He's like, I think I'm dying here, man. And it's so funny. It's hilarious. And then he says, Sid's like, what's your motive, Stu? And he's like, peer pressure.
That's legit,
And that's
man.
like, whatever. And then this scene makes me so mad. I think this is the scene. When she puts on the Ghostface costume.
Yep.
Why the F would you put the
Why
killer's
would
costume on to fight Billy?
That puts
and
your
stab him with an
DNA
umbrella.
in it.
Not only that, because clearly they don't give a crap about DNA in this whole movie. The
Oh,
police
yeah.
don't care. But what if the police showed up? You're getting shot.
Yeah.
She
Didn't
called
they call
the police.
They called the police. Oh, she called the police.
Mhm.
And like okay, I just want to imagine that whole scene of her struggling to get the suit on while they're in that closet. Like, oh god.
That scene makes me mad.
She took.
She puts on.
all
I said,
that effort.
why the F would she put the Ghostface costume on? Like, that is so stupid. What if the police came in right then? You're getting murdered.
Yeah, you were
You're
gonna
get shot by the
death.
police. And then this is when Stu has his inevitable death, and the TV falls on him. That's a great death.
I'm glad he didn't.
And I
just
said,
bleed
rest
out.
in peace, you amazing character, but also like good.
Kinda
you know?
deserves it.
You're supposed to die. And then I said, of course Billy isn't dead. Oh, because Billy gets stabbed by an umbrella. Believe it or not.
Oh yeah, an umbrella.
And then
in the
once
heart.
again, for the third time, I honestly didn't do this on purpose. I didn't realize how many times I wrote this down. I said, and oh my god, Randy is still alive. I don't know why I didn't. I thought Randy died in this movie.
What?
And because I haven't seen Scream in a while.
Yeah,
And
I knew.
usually
Randy
there's
lived.
not this many people who live. Like,
That's
Dewey, Gail, Sydney,
and Randy. That's
all live.
That's it.
That's a lot.
Wow.
So, and then Gail finally shoots Billy, and she's like, didn't miss this time.
Which
Idiot.
I feel like Billy.
Didn't
after
forget the safety that time.
I feel like Billy should be dead after this, but you know what happened?
You'd think. He's been stabbed. He's been shot once.
She got once, and he's like, and this is when the killer comes back from one final. He's like, ah.
Well, it says, I put Billy's dying, but we know he ain't dead just yet. And then I said so many one-liners in this movie, and I love all of them. Some of them are cheesy. Some of them are just not funny, but I love them all. They're great.
Yeah.
Randy calling the Billy scare, and then bam, Billy gets shot between the eyes, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's dead. I mean, good.
Yeah.
I like Stu because he's hilarious. Billy was like just creepy.
I like how. Oh my god, the actor who played him.
Billy.
Yeah.
Skeet Ulrich.
He teed it up.
No, that's
Perfect
I'm not.
job.
No crap against him. I love
absolutely,
him. I just hate his character.
The character.
His character
He
sucks.
performs him like almost perfectly. That is
Yes,
amazing.
good job on Skeet.
Yeah.
What a name, actually. I like that name.
Yeah,
it's a good name.
Is that the
That's
first
interesting.
name?
That's his name, Skeet Ulrich. Right there, yeah. This is
Let's go,
and then Sydney's dad just falls out of the closet and scares everyone. This is another thing, like, when instead of putting the Ghostface costume on in the closet, maybe you, like, untape your dad.
I didn't think about that.
She just
I
left
just
his
not
dad,
thought about
left
that right now.
Left her dad taped up and tied up.
He's like,
But, I'm gonna put on the Ghostface
he's
costume.
like, shut up, Dad! I'm getting my costume
Yeah.
on. You gotta be quiet.
And then Dewey's alive.
Nice.
I'm glad.
Mhm.
And then this is where I wrote, I want to visit the house, Stu's house, because you can do that.
You can?
Yeah, it's like a thing now.
Nice.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the movie, guys. It ends.
Nice.
It's a great movie. I gave a 9 out of 10.
I have to say 9.
Almost a 10. Almost a 10 out of 10,
9
but
for
there's-
both of us.
I don't know what else they could have done to make it better,
This
to be
movie-
honest. The music, maybe. The music was weird, like you said.
It was a
horrible, but-
bit weird. Man,
There's
this-
nothing that I can say to, like,
this
be
movie-
like, this is what the movie needed. Obviously, Wes Craven made a masterpiece.
My final bullet point was just really basic. After the movie finished, I was like, I can't think of anything, so I just put revitalized horror. That's what it really did. But man, 2000s horror movies.
2000s.
After Scream.
When did Scream 2 come out?
Scream? I don't know.
Guys, when did Scream... I'm looking it up. When did Scream 2 come out? Because I have no idea when Scream 2 come out. I don't remember Scream 2. 97. So 1
Wow.
year? Wait.
3 years. No, 1
1
year.
year. 1 year after.
1 year?
Which is quite normal,
When
I
did Scream 3
think.
come out?
I can check. I don't... Scream 3 came out in 2000.
Wow. 3 years?
And then Scream 4, 2011. Took them a while to make Scream 4. And then Scream 5 took... It's going to be 11 years
Mm.
after
Wait,
Scream
what?
4.
Is it 2021?
22.
2022.
So, yeah.
Nice. I'm
11
excited.
years.
I need
And
to
then-
watch all of them though.
But that makes shit... I mean, yeah, we'll watch them before the new Scream movie comes out. Scream 5. They just
Yeah.
finished filming it today, you know.
Really?
They're posted on Twitter. As of today, we're recording this on July 8th.
They just have to do.
Who knows when
after.
this podcast is going to come out. But, yeah. July, or not July. Just finished, recording today. Which is
Nice.
awesome. Glad they did that.
They're just After Effects.
I don't know what else to say
Marketing.
about this movie. I loved it.
It was really good.
Really good movie.
This really, it was something new for me in the
Yeah.
slasher genre. I just was so used to seeing these more boring movies and tropes played out, but this, wow, I really needed this.
It's an awesome movie. I think our next podcast is going to be, I think Fear Street Part 1. We'll see. We'll see how we
it's
feel.
on Netflix.
There's a few movies that I haven't seen that are really big in the genre, like Get Out. I haven't seen.
I haven't seen Get Out.
Hereditary.
Haven't seen.
We
own it.
Have you seen Midsummer?
No.
Midsummer is
I
one
know
we
I
could do. I've
haven't
seen it,
all
but
those, though.
there's so many movies that we're gonna cover. That's not what this whole channel is gonna be, by the way. This is just gonna be the first upload. Getting a camera soon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing some reaction vids on the channel to like horror shorts, random horror things. Eventually, we'll be making my own horror content covering movies in other ways. But for now, I'm gonna be doing some podcasts, some reactions to like Crypt TV and stuff like that. Maybe some Ice 9 Kills stuff
Yeah.
that's coming out. Some reactions to that. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys at least enjoyed this a little bit. If anyone actually made it to this point.
Hope you did.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I just want to get something up on the channel.
Yeah,
I really do.
That makes sense.
But appreciate you listening. And 9 out of 10. Scream. That was Scream. We might do Scream 2 at some point.
Maybe.
Never.
I've never
like,
seen it.
He's never seen it, and I haven't seen it. Maybe I don't know if I've ever seen it. I think I have, but it's been a long time if I have. Anyway.
So watch out for that.
Yeah, watch
Might
out
do
for
it.
our next upload. I mean, like I said, it's July 8th today. I'm hoping to get this up, maybe even tonight. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.